Hi, so today we are going to show you a little bit of the work that we are doing in the winery and on the vineyard during the months of April and May, and showing you a little bit also of where we work and how we work. So let's have a look at the vineyard. So we are in the Hérault, in the middle of the appellation Terrasses du Larzac. On this side we have the village of Agnan, over there the village of Mont, behind me the village of Saint-Saturnin, and just close to us the village of Jonquière. So the soil has been worked mechanically recently, 3 weeks ago, and this is the type of soil that we are working with. Like you can see, it's a very stony soil. The stone here is mostly limestone from the process of the last 2 million years, where stones with clay and silt were washed down from the 7 mountains. During an earlier geological period, this area was under the sea, so we find a different type of calcaire, sedimentaire calcaire, and sometimes fossils of oysters or even seashells. So here we are still on the Bois de Polio. One of our best plots is a Syrah plot just next to it, and we really believe that the soil here is incredibly good, and that's why we are so enthusiastic about planting some new Syrah here. So the density here is 5,000 vines per hectare, 2 meters on 1 meter. It's the density that we think is good for the soil that we have here. So we have a density which is sufficiently important that the vines struggle together and give a good quality wine, and that the density is not too high, that the vines can survive with the low waters that we have in the soil. Okay, here we have a grape which is just starting to flower. So here we are back in April. You can see that the vines are less progressed now. It's the first flowering of the year to get rid of the grass, and at the same time the wires are being put down. 2 or 3 weeks later there will be enough growth to put them up to maintain the canopy. So let's have a look at the winery. Each of these vats are used during the vinification. Inside one tank arrive 1 plot, so of course 1 grape variety. After this, the wines go to the barrique shade and are aged in barrique. We have also these wooden vats that we use for the vinification and also for the aging of one of our wines, the Ouvrier, and the 2 other wines, Las Flores and La Peira, are aged into barriques, and that's what we are going to see right now. Here we are in the barrique shade. The wines have been aged here downstairs during 1.5 years. And now this month we are going to take out the wines of the barriques to blend them and create our different cuvées. So what we've done recently is taking the wine out of the barriques, pumping the wine downstairs from the barrique shade to a tank upstairs, where the wine will stay during 2 months till the bottling. Here, for instance, is the Syrah of Bellefeuille, which is aging in 228 liters barrique, which is new oak. We have chosen this type of barrique because the Syrah is quite tannic, powerful and relative grape variety. On the other hand, here is the Grenache of Bellefeuille aging. It's aging in a 600 liters barrique, which is not new oak, because the Grenache is a more oxidative grape variety and a less tannic grape variety. These two wines are going to be blended now with a little bit of Mourvèdre to create our cuvée called Las Flores. And here is the Syrah of Folio aging, and here is the Grenache of Folio aging. These both wines are going to be blended together to create a cuvée called La Peira. It's 75% of Syrah and 25% of Grenache. 2007 was a great year. July and August were quite cool months for the south of France, and we are a bit concerned about this to get the right maturity for the grapes. But September was warm and dry and brought the maturity expected to the grapes and the power and the mature tannins that we were looking for. And that's really the balance that we have on the wine in 2007. It's freshness and elegance brought by July and August, and power and ripeness brought by the month of September. And it's really what we want to achieve with our wine. It's this balance between ripeness, power, and freshness and elegance. Just wanted to show you one last thing. We are going to drive up to the top of the Mont Baudile and show you the view. So this is the view from the Mont Baudile. So this mountain over here is the Pic Saint Loup. So this is a view from the top of the Mont Baudile looking back to La Peira. This is the Rocher des Vierges, and you can see a small chapel on it. So that's what has happened on this last month on the vineyard and the shade, and hopefully we will be able to show you things progressing into the year very soon.